Rain fell in heavy sheets, turning the old highway into a mirror of flashing red and blue. Officer Lucas Shaw could barely keep his eyes open. Blood soaked through his uniform, pooling beneath him. His breath came in broken gasps. Next to him, Rex, his German Shepherd partner, limped in tight circles before pressing his body close, refusing to move away even as his own leg bled. The radio crackled uselessly on the ground. Lucas reached for it, but his hand trembled too hard to grip it. "Dispatch? Officer. Down," he whispered, voice fading. The static swallowed his words.
Before we begin, don't forget to hit like, repost, or share, and subscribe. And I'm really curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Back to the story.
Rex barked once, low, powerful. Then again, he nudged Lucas's chest, but the officer's eyelids fluttered, slipping towards unconsciousness. That's when Rex made a choice. He picked up the radio in his teeth and bit down hard. Static hissed, and through it came the faint voice of the dispatcher. "Unit 47, report. Officer Shaw, do you copy?" Rex barked again, loud, sharp, desperate. On the other end of the line, Officer Molly Rivers froze. "That's Rex. He's calling for help," she said, her voice trembling. "All units, officer down, Route 19 gas station, move." The storm swallowed her words, but Rex didn't care. He dropped the radio beside Lucas and pressed his head against his partner's chest, listening to the faint heartbeat. It was still there, but faint. He began to lick the officer's face, nudging him to stay awake, whining softly, as if begging him not to leave. Lucas groaned, half conscious. "Still here, huh?" he whispered weakly. "Good boy." Rex's ears twitched. His entire body shook from pain, but he stood guard over Lucas, eyes locked on the dark horizon. The metallic smell of blood, mixed with rain, filled the air. The night was silent, except for the distant roll of thunder and Rex's ragged breathing. Minutes felt like hours. Every flash of lightning revealed more of the wreck, the shattered windshield, the blood trail, the half-open patrol car door. Lucas had been ambushed during what was supposed to be a routine call. The suspect was gone, but the damage was done.
The first police cruiser skidded to a stop. Two officers jumped out, weapons drawn, then froze when they saw Rex, bleeding, soaked, still standing protectively over Lucas's limp body. His fur bristled, teeth bared at anyone who came too close. "Easy, Rex. It's us," one officer said softly, kneeling down. "We're here to help him." Only when Lucas's fingers twitched, barely touching Rex's paw, did the dog step back, letting the medics rush in. He followed them to the ambulance, limping but refusing to stop. When they lifted Lucas inside, Rex tried to jump up after him, but collapsed at the door, exhausted. "Bring the dog," one medic ordered. "He's earned that ride." They loaded both of them up, the officer fighting for his life and the dog who refused to let him die. Hours later, under the harsh white glow of a hospital room, Lucas woke to a soft sound, a faint whine. He turned his head and saw Rex lying nearby, his leg bandaged, his eyes half open. "Hey, buddy," Lucas whispered, his voice raw. "You saved my life." Rex's tail tapped once against the floor. Tears welled in Lucas's eyes. "You didn't give up on me, even when I gave up on myself." When the chief visited days later, he told Lucas what everyone had been talking about, how the dispatch team had recorded Rex's call for help. The clip went viral, one desperate bark that saved a man's life. Weeks later, when both returned to the station, the entire department stood outside in the rain, clapping as Lucas and Rex stepped out of the car together. Lucas knelt, resting his forehead against Rex's. "You was supposed to retire," Remember? I guess you weren't done saving people yet? Rex let out a quiet breath, eyes closing in peace. That night, under the storm, when the world went dark, one wounded German shepherd refused to leave his dying partner. And that choice, one act of pure loyalty, changed everything. Because sometimes the bravest hearts don't carry guns. They carry scars and still choose to protect.
This story touched millions of hearts. If it touched yours, let us know with a like, comment, amazing story, and subscribe or follow for more amazing stories like this.